can get this solara over that hump. It wasn't as bad as I thought. We have to get it over that because the car runs but still has a broken axle. Holy. This hoist does not like the cold. Gonna have one heck of a workout today, that's for sure. Oh. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of pre-bend this thing, and we're gonna kind of wedge the trunk down, but we're gonna do it all at the same time. So I pretty much have this thing in the right position now for the hoist. Just need to go get myself a chain. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up on this hoist and we're going to put pressure on the frame so it wants to start bending it where we made those dimples. We don't want to put too much pressure where we damage the body because I am going to come by and crease this afterwards. So let's just try to get this frame tweaked a bit. There, that sounds like it's got quite a bit of pressure right there. It's starting to dig into the body, but not enough to really damage it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come along this back lip right here, and we're going to try to hammer it in to try to get that frame to bend just a little bit. Because this right here is stopping the frame from bending. So just with that done right there, you can already see the frame starting to pinch a bit. And that's what we want. So there's still a lot of strength here. What we're going to do is we're going to hammer in these sides just like we're creasing. So what we're going to do is just start creasing the sides like we normally would. Now we don't have to go super intense on this. We just want to make a weak spot so that frame can bend up. Now we're not going for show quality creasing here. What we're going for is just enough to help that frame bend. Oh. Now this may not look totally fancy, but this is actually the look I was going for. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more tweaking to the sides, but I'll wait for that when it's not -10 outside. But as of right now, I've got the frame to just tweak a bit. It's just noticeable. But what we're going to do now is bring down the trunk lid. So we got our nice little dish to it, because I like that. Right down, we can start to just belly this out a bit. I think that's pretty good. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut those threaded rods off and then tighten those down a little bit more. Realistically, I'm not going for show quality creasing on this car. All I'm going for is enough to get that frame to do what I want it to do. I don't want to go to this demolition derby and then have the frame go down or have all the skin rip right off they leave the frame wide open and all the trunk come in. I want it to all come in as one piece. And then by finding doing it like this, it works out great. And this is the good thing. Once you get used to a car, you'll understand how it bends and where it bends and what you need to do to make it bend the way you want it to do. Because a car that goes down is not a good car. A car that comes in or whatever you guys like. If you like a car the whole strength is in the back of the car, or if you like a car that comes in one hit but comes in and stays out of your way, it's up to you. Sometimes the back of the car is not the strongest point of the car. How I view it as the back of the car is defense, the front of the car is offense. Now you guys might not think that's enough, but honestly, I think that is actually plenty for the back of this car. We will attach seat belts from the trunk lid to the bumper, and that will be pretty much it for the back of this car. A lot of you guys make fun of me for using a seat belt, and I really don't know why. I really enjoy seat belts. I know that because of the type of demolition derbies I do with a lot of the pro mixed in with stock, guys around me think seatbelts are a way of the past. I don't. I don't think seatbelts are a way of the past at all. I think seatbelts are an oldie but a goodie. And the reason for that, I've had 9-wire snap. You get 9-wire nice and tight and somebody hits it just the right way and it has a sharp bend in it, it's going to snap. I don't really like 9-wire. I had a bad experience where it got a hold of my thumb a couple years ago and pretty much just destroyed everything, all the tendons and inside my thumb. And I just haven't gone back to it. And then the other half of you guys tell me I should weld all my stuff shut. And you know what? I do weld every now and then. I don't like welding for a couple reasons. One, it takes a lot of time. I know that you guys say, oh, he doesn't want to put time into his derby cars. That's not it. I think welding the door shut can be spent welding something different to make the car 100 times better. I find that when you go to a show and you have all your doors welded shut, you have your trunk welded shut, all that fun stuff, that all it does is attract attention to you that you don't really like. Like, yeah, at a pro show, it's pretty common to see doors welded shut, but if you're running stock and go cars, like smash and go, just smash the windows out, leave the gas tank kind of stuff, if you show up with welded doors, most of the times it's way above the rules, and when you get in there, if it's not above the rules, everybody pretty much is either terrified of you or aims for you. And I don't like that. I don't like having people aim for me every day that I'm out there. I get that people aim for you, but making yourself a target when you don't have to be is unnecessary. And I've had welds break. Not really my welds break. What I've had is the sheet metal around my welds break. And Not a big fan of having doors fly open. I know that you'll never break all the doors, but you still break them. And then I have people saying, well, why don't you use chain? Now, I actually really like chain. I find that you will almost never, ever break a chain on a derby. You might break the bolt you're using to keep that chain tight, but you won't break a chain. But the problem with chains is they're expensive. And I'm talking like, every time you go out and buy chains, that's money that's taking away from other things. Like, chains aren't really that expensive, and some people have access to unlimited amounts of chains, like if you're a transport truck driver or if your company uses them for tie downs and stuff like that, but unfortunately, I don't. The reason why I really like seatbelts, I've never once, never, had a seatbelt tear on me in the demolition ring. I cut my seatbelts to do something inside the derby ring. I put my hood shut once and then a wire came loose and my car wouldn't start as they're calling me to go inside the ring. So I cut all the seatbelts to open the hood to connect the wire and then just went in with an open hood. But I've never once, ever, had seatbelts come loose on me. Not loose, but rip. I've never had a seatbelt rip. And I find seatbelts is much easier to get tighter. You can easily tighten down a seatbelt when chains sometimes are harder to get fed around stuff. And the last thing I like about seatbelts is when you show up with seatbelts, everyone's like, oh, he's stuck. Don't worry about him. You're not a threat. People don't view seatbelts as a threat. And honestly, I like that. When you go in there and everybody thinks that you're new to the sport, you just show up with your door seatbelt shut and your trunk seatbelted shut and some threaded rod mixed in, people think you're new. Joke's on them, you're going to school them. So as we sit right now, I like this trunk. It's not super flashy, it's not super intense. I'll probably come back and crease it a lot better later, but honestly, it's freaking cold inside this shop, and I'm only out here for 2 hours today because I just got home from work, so there's no reason for me to start a fire before I have to rush to a doctor's appointment. So I figured I could pound this trunk out in a short period of time, and I was not mistaken. The trunk's definitely been pounded out. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Remember, if you guys have derby videos or derby photos or any questions that you want to ask me or other fellow derby drivers, check out Zach's workshop on Facebook. Just add us on Facebook, post your pictures, your videos, your questions of derby cars or anything like that, and hopefully we can help you out. I've actually been talking to a lot of guys on there about a lot of their cars, including Cavaliers, Corollas, Hondas, all that fun stuff, because all you guys know, I've ran all those cars. So, and a lot of people I know have actually, I know people that prefer Corollas over Camrys. I know, they're crazy, right? But they're out there. I'm just joking. But make sure you check out Zach's workshop on Facebook, and thanks very much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.